She's not just the queen of Quidditch. JK Rowling is the lady who just won't quit it. And we're talking about the Harry Potter franchise. Despite calls for a decade for her to go somewhere else, she is still playing in the playground she created. She's one of the most powerful women on Earth. And it turns out that she has defeated all of her detractors. HBO, Warner Brothers, and everybody else says JK Rowling is here to stay in her wizarding world. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are so happy to have you. Our job, as always, is to explain entertainment and keep you ahead of that culture curve. Understanding culture is something that is difficult at times, but in entertainment, we can often figure out exactly what is going on in society. Well, when it comes to these divisive issues that JK Rowling has been taking on, the fact that she still has the crown of Harry Potter and will go on leading, directing, and making sure it's exactly as she sees fit, it just might mean that the culture war has been won, and JK Rowling is sitting on the victorious side. This is out of thatparkplace.com, the website that if you are not yet bookmarked, well, you should be. It's by Marvin Montanaro. Who's that guy? HBO stands by JK Rowling ahead of Harry Potter TV series involvement, says author has the right to express her personal views. And essentially, folks, if you're wanting the quick version of this, Rowling wins. Rowling wins. Rowling wins. All right, here we go. HBO issued a statement in support of J.K. Rowling and her Harry Potter TV series involvement, noting that the author has the right to express her personal views in the face of fan backlash. Rowling, the author of one of the most successful book series of all time, and by the way, one of the most successful women of all time, I know those are hard to define, but has become a lightning rod of controversy in recent years with former fans and even some of the actors from her Harry Potter films speaking out against her. This mostly centers around Rowling's views on individuals who identify with a gender that differs from natural biology. She additionally believes anatomical men should not be in women's boxing. How's that for you? We're dancing. This has displeased many in Hollywood, with calls for boycotts of Rowling's work ringing out every few months. However, the Harry Potter IP has never been stronger, with books, movies, theme park lands and attractions, endless merch, a hit video game, and that's a big deal, and now an upcoming long-form TV series on HBO and Max streaming service. Rowling is set to be heavily involved in the TV series, which will adapt her original 7 books and flesh them out in a way that was never possible in the Daniel Radcliffe-led films. Marvin, I'll let you take it from here because I find 2 things fascinating. The first is just what an impact Hogwarts Legacy had on the legacy of J.K. Rowling. And the second is she's going to be able to get rid of those pesky child actors who used her giving them the chance of a lifetime to then attack her on the backside of that. So Absolutely. What do you make of it, Marvin?
What HBO and Warner Brothers Discovery by extension has said in this situation is basically something they never would have said 6 months ago. And I think a lot of it had to do with the success of Hogwarts Legacy, because the activists came for Hogwarts Legacy in a way that they never came for any of the Fantastic Beasts movies or anything like that. I mean, this was a project that she had virtually no involvement in, a project that actually pandered to these people quite a bit in terms of gender stuff and making Hogwarts more of an ethnic rainbow, so to speak, which goes to show you that Dumbledore got real selective real fast when he took over the headmaster position. But what you're seeing is this game made $1 billion. It moved 30 million copies. And now they're realizing that these loud activists, the ones that, screeched and threatened and bullied teenage game streamers into tears, they have no actual sway or power over how people perceive this IP and how much money it can make. Therefore, of course, you're going to involve the creator of the greatest book series of all, or at least the most successful book series of all time, in a long form adaptation of her work. Of course you are, especially one who is as hands-on with the IP and keeping and defending it as she is. It was a huge win for her and a huge egg on the face of all of these activists. And now the article that we cite in the article here on That Park Place is from Variety. They ran a certified hit piece on her about this. They were definitely trying to swing the public consciousness against her, and it's going to blow up in their faces in a big way.
Lorena, Lorena, well, go ahead, Vash. Then I'm going to bring Lorena to talk about her experience trying to get Hogwarts Legacy to play the best way possible. Go ahead, Vash.
Well, I just wanted to say that Hogwarts Legacy was the #1 game of 2023. That was against games like Call of Duty, Madden, Spider-Man 2, Starfield, Zelda, Diablo. We could just go on and on. It was the #1 game. Hugely successful. We also saw photos of the recent Ministry of Magic at Epic Universe, and the company spent a lot of money on that. So definitely a bunch of... Oh, yes. Definitely a bunch of organizations or corporations spending big bucks on Harry Potter, understanding the viability of the brand, and that the JK Rowling controversy has really not impacted it.
Lorena, after the election, it seems like a lot of these companies are getting a lot more gumption than they once had. You've got companies now, saying, you know what? Screw the trolls. This woman made this franchise and she's not going anywhere. And we don't care what you say because we're seeing now the way that the world is moving. Do you think that's going to continue, Lorena?
Oh, absolutely. And case in point, the whole existence of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Orlando. That place is more often than not packed, not only just packed, but you have people wearing robes in 95-degree heat in Orlando because they want to rep their house and they want the full experience, the robes, the wand, the butter beer, all the merchandise. You've even got people who maybe they didn't buy robes, but they have t-shirts from home made up with different phrases from the movies or their own funny phrase like witch please and what's my other favorite? Gryffindor in the sheets, Gryffindor in the streets. No, Gryffindor in the streets.
I was going to say, in the sheets is a very different meaning there.
Yeah,
Slithering in the sheets.
These shirts, like that, things like that. And for me personally, I love the franchise so much. I bought Hogwarts Legacy when it came out. Hogwarts Legacy is responsible for me getting back into gaming. Hogwarts Legacy also.
So wait a minute, Lorena, are you telling me that those efforts to boycott Hogwarts Legacy, the efforts that were made to prevent people from streaming Hogwarts Legacy, are you telling me those had no impact on you and you as an awful, terrible person, you played the game anyway?
Not only did I play the game anyway, but I fried my little underpowered computer playing Hogwarts Legacy. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to build an actual gaming rig so I can play this game properly because it is just so fun and so immersive. As a matter of fact, the more bad, quote unquote, bad press that came out about Hogwarts Legacy, the more people were like, oh yeah, by the way, I need to not only just buy the game, but what's the most expensive version that I can buy?
Well said. Yes, I think people were spending lots and lots of money to make not Harry Potter in the Harry Potter world look and sound as well as they could. Culture, talk to us a minute about the cultural impact of JK Rowling winning this battle, because at this point, it's over. JK Rowling has won.
Yeah, the problem is in her home country, they have somebody who could really screw all of that up. I mean, she may win the battle, but if you end up in prison, you know, because of your opinions, you may be losing a war. I mean,
she needs to exile herself to blue sky. I hear it's a utopia.
Be sure for butterflies everywhere, but I'll tell you that if you know the symbology there, you'll understand. But look, she's had a massive cultural impact from the word go, as we can all agree on. She's the most successful female author of all time. She was the first billionaires authoress of all ever. She's had a massive cultural impact, and the fact that she can leverage Warner Brothers into saying, we want to use this woman's IP. We will not disagree with her publicly. She's entitled to her own opinions. I mean, that's substantial. It's a massive shift in the culture versus what we were subjected to from Warner Brothers over the last few years. I think a lot of these entertainment companies are tired of taking it on the chin for failed policies that lawyers are now telling corporations to run away from. They're telling them to get away from DEI and ESG and all of that. So her impact by just holding the line for women, and to me, that's the most important thing. She's standing up for women. Women see that. People who are after this fake ideology stuff are actually writhing right now because they really don't have anything to stand on. They just had a compliant and accomplice to media. But she's obviously driven an entire media company away from this idea.
And I think Lou would agree with me. Nothing beats success. Nothing beats the market.
Look, the way this is being told to the world as if it was HBO or Warner Brothers' choice. They don't have a choice. They signed the deal that says she's in charge. They can make it sound like they're being benevolent to listen to her, but that's not true. And what you have to remember, the first thing you learn when you are going to seriously negotiate anything in this world, and certainly the couple times I've negotiated contracts in Hollywood, the person who's willing to say no always wins.
Yes.
And she was willing to say, well, if you don't want me in charge, then you don't want this property. And next.
Yeah. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people.
And she said it to Disney.
Exactly. Yep. And that's the thing. She could say that. She had all the power. And look, if you're willing to walk away, you're 100% right. Lou, I can't stand behind your statements any more than that. She had all the power from the word go. And, they
knew it and exercised it. Lots of people think they do, but then, hey, it's a great deal. Come on, you'll be rich. And they get talked out of sticking to their guns. This lady, you ain't going to talk her out of anything, as Mel Brooks might have put it. And if you get that reference, you're as old as I am, at least. But it's just that simple. And when you say it's for women, that's true. But it's for writers. The standard old joke about writers' power in Hollywood used to be, did you hear about the Polish, and I'm part Polish, I can tell this joke, the Polish starlet who came to Hollywood and screwed the writers? The point being that writers never sold a ticket and never had the power. Well, write a hit book and see what happens. And when and look at people like, what's his name, George Martin, complaining all the time about what they did to his baby. Oh, poor baby. If you said no and made him sign on the dotted line, you couldn't make that complaint. And that's true of every other one of these things.
And that's what she is famous for, that, Lou. She is very particular about what happens in and around her IP. Originally, she had gone to Disney regarding the theme park land,
or they came to her. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and they wanted control. They didn't want to let her do what she wanted, and she went to Universal, was all too willing to give her complete creative control over the project.
And by the way, it makes their Imagineers better too, because when they know that there is a judge to answer to other than the administrative one within their company, but a creative one with proven success and the power to exercise it. If you haven't seen, guys, those most recent photographs that just came out of the new Harry Potter area at Epic Universe,
yes,
the degree of color and vibrancy and contrast, and oh my God, when you take that much time.
Did you notice they delivered on their concept art, which is something that Disney never does?
But all I'm saying is, that comes from her inspiration. She didn't draw those pictures. She didn't come up with. They said, what can we do to please her and stay true to her and add ourselves to it? That's how a great creative collaboration works. That's how every good movie works, that the craft service guy feels like he's part of it, and the third gaffer feels like he's part of it, and people give a damn, and they do their best work in those circumstances. They just do.
Well, folks, you might say, go ahead, Erica.
I was going to say that these minority that has a big megaphone, her opposition, they underestimate the following that she has and how long it's been cultivating and permeating for years, since the first book launched, years ago. And it just boom from the moment of its birth. It's just had all these years of building and building a fan base, and you're just not going to tear down that fan base
Well,
overnight.
but it isn't even that. If you think about our previous story, the people who are detractors of hers are all little Rachels who think all I have to do is whine and the world will bend to my will. And they're just shocked to find out that no, that's not how grown-ups work. That's
And
not how
they fear her because they're ideologues and because she's not presenting an ideological narrative that joins with them. So she's a threat to their power. And who would have ever thought that the woman who was in controversy for making Dumbledore gay would have to say to these crazies out there, you've gone too far. But folks, we're not J/K'ing. JK Rowling has won the day. Pulling Hollyweird to the sensible center, the mainstream middle where money is made is not easy, but folks, you make it easy to make videos each and every day because sharing time with you is a great honor and we never take it lightly. An attitude of gratitude every single time we have the chance to shine with you. Until the next time, we only ask that you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't worry about paying any kind of tuition for this free class and how entertainment works. You are on scholarship. Highest IQ on the internet. That's you for sure. Until the next time we have the opportunity to spend time together, folks, we just ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.